I am absolutely hooked on Living in London channel. The link will be at the top of the description box because Daniel Lazar is a master storyteller. And so many people have got prison experiences. There's a wealth of talent and knowledge and stories in prison. But some people get out and they're not very capable of telling their stories. If you go over to Daniel's channel, Living in London, your stories go for 10, 20 minutes. I'll just run down some of the titles to get you enticed. Teeth got smashed out. Jaw broke by lifer. First kilo of coke. Robbing grow yard. Cousin kidnapped. 2 murders, 1 suicide. They tried to murder me. And it's not just his storytelling ability, though. It's also his energy. I mean, he's so lively when he gets on camera. He was lively in the car just now. This is his natural personality. And I hope you guys are as riveted as I am and you go down and support what he's doing and subscribe. How long have you had the channel?
Since January I started it. I've had in my mind to start YouTube for years. I'd watch podcasts like you and certain others, and I'd just get, a certain idea in my head, but I never had the confidence, I had to beat my own demons first. But yeah, like I said, January this year.
All right, so I'd like to start out with a really gripping story, like a really crazy story. What do you think is the craziest one that'll engage the viewers the most?
Okay. Which camera do I look in, just so I know?
All right, so that one's you, that one's
me.
both of us, and that one's me.
Excellent. Okay, so the craziest story that happened to me was when I was younger. And this is one of the craziest stories because you've got to remember certain people have certain ideas of what crazy is. But for me, this was out of the blue. I did not expect this. So it's 2001. And in Camden, it's not community, but everyone knows everyone in Camden. And everyone's tight. We know each other's family. So if anything happens, we kind of know stuff. But what happened was Somalians were coming over at the time. Like a lot of them were coming over. And we didn't really know them, but they were coming over to, like in London in general. So what happened there was I was selling drugs at the time. I had runners and that, but I'm 18 myself. So my runners are young as well, like 15, 16 at the time. Some are 14. And then one of them got robbed by this guy, and we didn't know who he was, just a black guy. And then a couple others got robbed. And now I'm like, oh my God. So the Somalians were robbing the workers. Okay. So I caught a couple of them. I messed them up. Like I really, really went in on him. I smashed him up, like I battered him, but I let the guy know who I was because I'm Daniel Lazar. I'm in Camden. This is my area. This is what I do. Yeah. So the guy had heard the name, but I'd done the job on him, And then so one day I'm walking down the street. I'm with my girlfriend. I'm walking my girlfriend's friend home, being a gentleman, trying to do the right thing, impress my girlfriend. Anyway, so I walk her home all the way up to Belsize, and then we're walking back. Me and my girlfriend. My girlfriend was a pretty girl, mixed race, blue eyes. So we're walking back. It's on Ferdinand Street, just by my mum's. And walking, and there's 3 guys coming towards me, black Somalian guys. And I didn't know everything. Remember, I'm feeling myself back then. I've got a massive ego. My head's big as it is, but trust me, it was filled with ego back then. And I thought I was just the man, So 3 guys come towards me. They're looking at my pretty girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling this energy. I'm like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? That kind of stuff. And they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Now me, I have a thing of telling people my name. Not no more. But back then, it was almost like to scare people off. You know who I am? Daniel Lazar. Yeah, that you usually get a reaction. But like I told you, these guys had come from Somalia. They were basically fresh almost, and they'd all moved in and they'd had their own community. But they didn't give a fuck about me. Do you know what I'm saying, Sean? So like...
And you're 6'4" and you were hench.
And I was big then as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Always in and out of jail and always had the reputation of fighting because I was bullied so much as a kid. And all that pent up frustration, it just released from me. So anyway, I'm going mad at these guys. And then now there's an argument. Now, I don't have a knife on me then. I hadn't stabbed anyone by then. I hadn't been stabbed by then. It was just fighting. We were just fighting, almost like just finishing school and you start to fight and stuff. And so I'm like, my name's Daniel Lazar, blah, blah, blah. Now, I've just beaten up a couple of Somalians a couple of weeks, maybe a week before. Yeah. And they're all in a group. So they've known the name now. Now they're all looking at each other. Yeah. And like the energy's got a bit more serious now. And then they're just talking all of a sudden. Pulled like a big Rambo knife. Honestly, it was the size of his arm. I just see it and he just went whack, hit me straight there. And everything just stopped. My whole time just stopped. It was crazy. Fractured my skull, severed 2 arteries, and I'm standing there now. and my head's wobbling. I was with my friend. My friend actually run off to pretend like he had I don't even know what he did, but he run off anyway, yeah? So now I'm left there, my head's cracked open, and the Somalian guys have run off, and I'm just standing there. The girl's screaming, and claret was pouring out of my head and everything, and yeah, I almost died. Luckily, I was right by my house. People called an ambulance, and within half an hour of the incident, I was in the hospital, and just getting seen to in that. But yeah, that was a very, very traumatic time in my life, you know?
So if you're enjoying this podcast, you will love Dave Gunn's book, Bestwood Boss, Live by the Gun. It's got hundreds of reviews on Amazon. It only went up this year, 4.3 stars. And I'll read you the back of the book. The jaw-dropping inside story from the boss of the only organised crime group in the UK to be classified as a cartel. In the early 2000s, Dave Gunn and his brother Colin built the Bestwood Cartel, a multi-million-pound empire based on drugs, extortion and violent crime. During a time when Nottingham was labelled Britain's gun crime capital. The second season of Sherwood, if you watch that on the BBC, crime drama series, was inspired by the activities of the Gunn brothers and the deadly crime wave in Nottingham, which earned the city the nickname Shottingham. According to the media, the Gunn brothers ruled some of the city suburbs with an iron fist, drove around in flash cars, and were dripping in expensive jewellery. They saw themselves as protectors of their manor, a modern-day mix of Robin Hood and the Cray twins. As the violence escalated, including brutal punishment shootings between rival gun gangs, the police launched Project Starburst to dismantle the Bestwood Cartel and its rivals. So much was written in the media about the Gunn brothers and in books such as Hood's, but no gang leader has ever detailed a real-life warfare in Nottingham in the early 2000s. In Bestwood Boss, Dave Gunn sets the record straight with the first ever insider's account of what led to the blood-soaked ganglands. I'll put the links in the description box, and I really enjoyed Dave's audiobook. So check that one out. Especially if you're busy, if you're on the road or you're doing stuff, just get the audiobook on. Thank you for watching. Cheers.
Watch Dave Courtney's Underworld, The Craze, out now on various platforms, Amazon Prime, Plex, and for American viewers, Tubi TV. The film includes exclusive interviews with former members of the Craze gang, revealing remarkable insights into the 60s criminal underworld.